Hello everyone. Hope you're all out there somewhere. If you are, let me see you. Tell me something. Otherwise I'll start talking to myself, and I think that'll be a good session. Talking to myself. So hope you guys had a lovely week and you're ready for spending a little time with me together, and then afterwards we go about our day and see our Sunday. Hello, Angelica. Angelica, where you saying hello from? Jade, hello dear. Let me know what part of the world you guys are at. Let's see. Jacqueline, good morning. I mean, for me it's morning. I don't know if it's morning for you guys or not. I'm still trying to fix this thing. Angelica's US. Jacqueline is from Holland. Carrie Kearns, hello dear. From UK is Allison. Let me see, this thing is just bugging me, not letting me see you guys. Jan Lee from Seattle. Oh, I went to Seattle U for a couple of months when I was just trying to get ready for university. There it is. That is better. So from Iowa, and somebody was from Holland. I traveled to Holland with my mother and my brother when I was a little kid. Hello there from North Carolina, USA. Allison from UK. It's 6 p.m. there. Austria. Wie geht's heute? I hope I said it right. Fountain Valley, California. That's Delena Stamba, something like that. I hope I pronounced it right. California, Philip. Angelica, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Okay, and where is Summit from? India. Hello dear. And Zimbabwe. Gara. Dubai, Cindy. And Nephilim from Vienna. My goodness. This is like a travel for me every Sunday. You know, I travel around the world with you guys. Sweden. Who is from Sweden? Yvonne Christopherson. Martha from Miami. I was in Miami, oh God knows how long ago. Salvador, Brazil. Mauricio. And Jim Mille from Hilton, New York. Sonny from Abu Dhabi. Wow, we got them from everywhere. Look guys, it's I hope it's cozy wherever you are. It's pretty cozy here. But today I want to change the setup a little bit, if you guys agree. Instead of me just starting the talk, perhaps you guys can give me some information and I will inject the topic and what I want to say into the answers to your questions that I want to give. In this way, you get to ask your questions earlier than waiting for me to finish the talk and then ask. And at the same time, I'm informing you of what I wanted to share with you, but we'll do it together, like we'll do both things together. Answering, using some of my talk to answer your questions, and then the next question, eventually my talk will finish while I'm answering questions. So that way we can maybe save time, or we can try it, see how it grabs you. If you guys liked it, we'll do it that way. If not, then we'll go back to the old original way of me talking first and then you guys ask your questions. So what do you think about this idea? So if that's the case, then I will maybe say some things and I wait, and then you guys can ask a question and I say the rest of my talk through that question if I can kind of mix it in. Okay, that's a big question. Do you believe in God? It's a big question, has a topic of itself, has its own way, but definitely you cannot deny that you did not create this world, and this world wasn't created just by itself. Somehow there must be some intelligence, and some people call it God, nature, universe, and it all means that there is a collective, there is an intelligence, there is a way that things have come to be, and we can't just take the credit on ourselves. Who are we? We think too much of ourselves to think that all this is because we have created. We didn't create it. Belgium, bonjour. Comment ça va aujourd'hui? Kamal. Babrakzai. Kamal I can pronounce. Now, UAE, good. Ahlan wa sahlan, dear. What is your name here from UAE? Oh, that's Kat. So, Kat Orzi. Perhaps you don't speak Arabic. Is that green tea? Yes, Gary, that's green tea. Okay. Majaluka Berry asks, who is he? Who? You talk to me? Look up there on the title. It's got my name and it's got what we want to talk about. From Finland, we have Amar. And okay, how do I begin? There's a question. Kerry Kum says, how do I begin working on being comfortable in my own skin, accepting myself, who I am, loving myself? Ah, very good question. Let's capitalize on that. Okay, so we begin. Well, we have been conditioned not to capitalize on ourselves. And this is perhaps one of the ingredients that when we break up in life with our partner. Now, I'm going to be directing my discussion to one kind of a relationship, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to talk. Like I would say, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, he, she, or whatever your relationship style is, whatever your gender is, your partner, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, it wouldn't be able to actually. So I'm just going to say it like if it was intended. My channel was on YouTube was created from the point of view of the boys to begin with. And now that you guys have managed somehow to make it unisex, so be it. But I'm still going to talk today one kind of relation, and you guys switch it over. Like if I say your girlfriend, and if you're a lady, you switch it to, that your own style of partner. Whatever your relationship style is, your partner, just change it to that. So I would be able to carry on. So one reason that we seem to be not able to believe in ourselves or have an opinion about ourselves, and to be, maybe as our friend here said, to feel good in our own skin, is that we're conditioned to believe that we are incapable. It's true. Just let's examine it together, and don't just listen to me, just think it through and imagine it and just go through it just like I do, so we can actually explore it together. Look, we're conditioned to think we're incapable. And that's why we never allow ourselves to be the center of our own existence. And we always seem to be relying on somebody else, somehow, somewhere out there, to tell us who we are, how we are, if we are acceptable, if we are, if we are sufficient, if we are good or bad, and how to feel about ourselves. It's all coming from outside, rather than it should be coming from our own center, and considering ourselves and our opinion to be the important part of it as well. And why is that? Well, imagine when you're born, from the moment that you're born, naturally, you can't do anything, right? All you can do is just say, "Bukuli, hello." Your mother and your father say, "Googly, you cutie pie," what this and that, and hug you and give you all the pleasantries and the toys and love you and hug you and feed you and clean you when you poop and everything right from the start shows you that you are pretty much incapable. And that's the way it is. I mean, every species takes care of their born young, newborn, and the newborn can't do anything for a certain time depending how the program, how the genes are. And for us humans, we seem to be the most incapable, especially at our infancy. So we learn that we are being hugged and loved, and we smile, and when they smile at us, that means we get pleasure from it. So we search for that more because it makes us feel good, makes us feel like we are safe, we are taken care of, we are in their bosom, we are protected, and we comply pretty soon to every little thing that we think they want us to do in order to get that candy, in order to get that hug, in order to get that smile, in order to get that energy. See, there's something other than the physical reactions that we receive. It's also the energy that most people don't seem to realize, that our life is in two parts: physical and mental, the energy part. It's like the tip of the iceberg that we see. That's the body that we have, and we interact with it, using it in our daily life. But the tip of the iceberg that you see on the ocean is not the whole iceberg. 1,000 times or hundreds of times bigger than what's visible is underneath the ocean. And same thing with us. The power that we use in our daily life is the visible part, is our body. But then also there's an invisible part of our entity, which is our energy, mind, the energy of the universe, how we interact with it, and other people's energy toward us, and our energy toward them. So when we're a child and when we are being conditioned, without them meaning to condition us, but we seem to be needing that love, the energy, that protection, physical protection, the physical things that we need, the hugs, the which also gives us the emotion of satisfaction and security. And also we learn that if we want to get food, we have to be ready in a certain way, or we're being fed in a certain way. And who feeds us? Our mother. And who takes care of us? Our mother. So many things that is proven to us through our childhood that we are totally incapable, and if we want certain things, we should comply in a certain way. And if we are good or bad, if the smile comes to us or not, depending on what we have done, how we have satisfied the other entity, and therefore we get that psychological security, we get that energy, we get that smile, we get that toy, we get that candy, we get that food. So constantly we see ourselves in relation to the world and others as that we have to be complacent, we have to comply. And we like it too, and we find it a way for us to get things. And then we become conditioned to pursue that through our life. And therefore, when we grow up and we become older, we seem to have already been programmed to please others according to what the society's rules are, and to become part of the matrix, which includes always searching affirmation and searching the satisfaction of the others, so they will give us something that we will know or think or realize if we are good or bad. We need them to tell us. That's how we've been conditioned. So for that reason, when we are even going to school, we need the teacher to tell us if we're good or bad. Depending on if we know 2 + 2 = 4 or 5, then we are giving a little bit of a recognition. Oh, good boy, you get a good grade. So again, we need somebody else to tell us how good or bad we are, depending on if you're good at math, if you're good at science, or good at this homework or that work. So constantly, we are learning to be an instrument of the other's wishes. We comply to the way they want us to do a certain thing, so we can get that gravy of recognition of who we are. Are we good? Can we be okay in our own skin because we have received this affirmation, we've received this smile, we've received this okay, and everybody. And then we go get a job. And of course, if we are a good servant, good worker, good employee, we get a raise or we get a smile, pat on the back from the boss. So always seems like we're dependent on somebody else to tell us how good we are. And that carries through to the time that we get into a relationship. And when we get into a relationship, and for some reason, one reason or another, the relationship doesn't work, after a few months or a year, 2 years or 10 years, somehow, someday, for some reason, it breaks up. Now, obviously, it breaks up for different reasons, but one very simple reason is that everybody, even in that relationship, your girlfriend or yourself, you're always constantly hunting for other people's affirmations and satisfaction to gauge yourself if you are worthy or not, and your value comes from what and how the others interact with you. That's how you see yourself, if you're good or bad. Therefore, possibly the girlfriend or the boyfriend needed somebody else's affirmation, therefore it leaves, finds out that, okay, I need other people's, likes, thumbs up to me, so I gotta go somewhere else. They break up. And when they break up, to that point, you've always, ever since childhood, been conditioned to think that you need somebody else to tell you that you're good or bad. Now, and that would make you happy. So, and in the case of your girlfriend, it wasn't just your conditionings that was making you happy by hearing the idea and opinion of the others about you, and including your girlfriend, which girlfriends are very important in our lives. Very important. Woman is very important in our lives, especially, in our lives, the boys. Because the woman has always been a strong and important character. And despite how it may look in the societies today, woman has always been the most powerful in our life. Because our mother is a woman, and she was responsible to give us protection. She gave us protection, security, fed us, cleaned us, gave us comfort. Everything came from a woman. And then we went to school, and most school teachers were ladies, women. So we learned to respect them, to find them very important in our lives, and also in knowing ourselves, depending on how they think of us. So women has always been very important, and it should be. A woman should be respected and loved, and of course be interacted with pleasantry and positivity, as normal as it can be. So when the girlfriend leaves, not just that a very important figure has left our relationship, our girlfriend, also because the woman generally has always been very important, so she had that extra importance to her. Plus the fact that she introduced intimacy to us, that we know we were intimate, and we learned love and sexuality and the pleasure of sex and all that, and that was a huge thing in our lives. And then that was pleasure, right? And then all that pleasure and so on would make us feel happy. And we got mixed up somewhere along the line, and we thought pleasure is happiness. So we messed up and mixed up the definition of pleasure for us. Wrongfully so, it became to be happiness. Pleasure became happiness, and reason for happiness became pleasure. And we got really screwed up on understanding these definitions. And for that, we looked at our girlfriend in many different ways as important and more important than it actually was. First, she was a woman, very important to us. Second, she was someone who was telling us, because we were conditioned to know how we are, how good we are from the outside, and she was one very important person to tell us if you're good or not. Even when you're making love to your girlfriend or to your wife, how good of a male you are depends on if she was satisfied or not. So that's how we became conditioned to think everything we do, we should hear it from out there if we are good enough or not, even to that level of intimacy. So we are totally conditioned to believe that that person has such an important place in our life in every way, not just because of who she is, what she is, also because she dictates or she indicates, is a guideline for us who we are, how good we are, if you're acceptable or not, in many different ways. And that she represents pleasure, and pleasure represents happiness for us. So, and we mix up the pleasure and happiness to be the same and one. So suddenly when she leaves, we've lost everything. We've lost pleasure, we've lost knowing who we are, how good we are in many different things. We've lost happiness because we thought pleasure was happiness, and the pleasure of intimacy and being together, bonding together, and having a girlfriend, that also was the reason for us to think that that is happiness. So now that she's left, everything left to us. That's why we are totally devastated, and we think. However, we should realize that the reason that we feel pleasure about something, because the whole program of pleasure is from inside. And that pleasure can, if we didn't have that program and capability of feeling pleasure, it doesn't matter what kind of pleasure was being offered to us, we would not feel it. It's like saying, the fact that I can taste the difference between food, I can taste the food, therefore the food is not what brings the taste. I am the one who's capable to taste how the food tastes. I have that capability. So I can let this food go and try another food, and then also I'll be able to taste that pleasantry in that food if it has the same ingredients or similar ingredients or quality of ingredients. So the pleasure is something that is instilled in us, in our program. We are capable to feel that. So you cannot necessarily think that the only way to receive pleasure was from this girlfriend that is no longer working together. So when it breaks up, it's not working, you shouldn't be devastated for all the reasons that you think you're missing, because how important this girlfriend was, for all the reasons we talked about. Plus the fact, you should remember that you can get how you felt from this relationship with another relationship, because all the ingredients for you to be capable to feel the way you felt with this relationship is still in you, and you can feel it by having another qualified relationship somewhere else, because you haven't lost those capabilities. You have lost the catalyst who just were able to bring all these things to you. So the fact that the woman is so important to you, the woman or other people in general, tells you who you are, how good you are, and we are accustomed and conditioned to wait for others to give us an opinion about ourselves, and we never learn how to actually be able to evaluate ourselves by ourselves, be the center of our own value understanding of who we are. Therefore, and also the fact that she's the center of pleasure, which we mistakenly translated to happiness, and the fact that she's taught us everything, suddenly we think the whole happiness, the whole life left. Therefore, we become more devastated than we should be after a breakup. And this, my friend, answers your question that why are we not able to be comfortable in our own skin, and we are always looking for some reason to know who we are and to feel comfortable. And perhaps this would be a way for us to realize that we have the right, everyone, woman, man, however, whatever your relationship is, whoever you are, wherever you are, you have the right to evaluate and put your worth on yourself by yourself. You don't need others to actually tell you something about you in relation to the reactions that you receive from them to think how good or bad you are. The fact that you need to comply, to please them according to the standards that they expect you to behave in order for them to give you that smile, in order for them to dub you worthy. You can't set your worth. You are the only one and the only important one that can say how good you are, how valuable you are, that how proud you can be of yourself, how happy you can be of yourself. You don't need others to constantly affirm you. Do you understand? I hope I was able to bring this little seed, plant this little seed in you, that you have the right to set your own worth. You have the right to be valuable. You have the right to think good of yourself. You have the right to be good in your own skin. You don't need the affirmation and judgment of everybody else just so in relation to how they expect you to be, so they will also then throw you a bone and say, okay, you're good. Whether it's making love in bed, or whether it's your work, or whether it's your schooling, whether it's your, whatever relationship you have with yourself, it should be based, your worth and value should be based on your interaction with the nature, with the universe, with yourself, with the truth of the matter, with life, and how positively you affect your society, your community, yourself, on your standards, not based on what kind of a servant they want you to be. So all this conditioning started from your childhood, and you're now carrying it through, and even carrying it through after your breakup. Now, tell me something. Did I carry something? Did I deliver something to you? Or did I not need to explain that much about that question? Somebody say something. What do you guys think about what you heard? Okay. How do we know our worth? We must have an example or some way to measure it. Well, how did you know your worth if there was nobody else in this world? No other human? Well, in the way you actually try to learn how you interact with life in general. There are challenges that comes to you. There are ways of thinking that comes to you. The way of motivation, and the fact that how you motivate yourself, how you feel about certain things, how you strive to learn and explore new things about your own psyche, about your relationship with the nature, how to negotiate this little boat of yours in this ocean of life that you've taken on a journey on. These are what really sets you to understand who you are, what you are, not the interaction of Joe Blow out the street, or Julie or Jane, how they think of you because of what you bought for them, what you didn't, how you treat them or you didn't. Of course, you should treat everybody nice and gentle and positively. But in general, you should be able to define yourself by the way you grow in life and how you negotiate life, not based on someone's expectations, because everybody's expectation is for you to do something that would benefit them, therefore they will smile at you. That shouldn't be your measuring stick for how good you are. Your measuring stick for how good you are is about how you understand what life is, your purpose in life is, what you're here to do, what is your purpose, how you're going to help this whole species this whole world, this whole life, this whole journey that you have, how you're going to affect the others, how you're going to affect your family, how do you attend to your duties. These are the things that really gives you value, not the outside people, because they are actually giving you your value based on what you're worth to them, not what you're worth to your own life. That you only can do that. It's easier said than done. Well, it's just like we've been conditioned the other way. We can also become aware of our conditioning and not to comply and not to beg for it and to be so needy about it, and to understand our powers and our role, because that person who's actually giving us that sort of, let's say, affirmation or reaction, they're also needing that and conditioned to need that from somebody else. So how could they be so stable in their thoughts and values, how they could be so credible in what they're offering when they themselves need somebody else to actually evaluate them based on what they do for the others, How do you deal with uncertainty after a breakup? Yes. The fear that you have been conditioned to feel because you've been put into the matrix, you've been put into a certain kind of a frame, you're expected to grow, to go to high school or university, get a job, and get married, depending if you're, what your gender is, you get married. These are what the society and communities have conditioned you to think that what life is. So then you get married and you become part of that picture. And anything not there, you will be faced with other people's frown, which you're going against the norm of the society, that's expected from every supposedly successful person, supposedly to be having gone through all these stages. For you to feel that fear is because you feel, what happens if I don't go to school? What happens if I don't get this job? What happens if I don't have this much money? What happens if I don't get married? All this comparison of, will I still be liked by my peers? Will I still be liked by my family? Will I still be liked by my community? I was liked yesterday while I was complying with the rules and expectations. I'm okay today. Will I be okay tomorrow if I don't achieve these things that I'm expected to achieve? So when you compare your condition of yesterday to today and possibility of tomorrow, that's when the fear comes. So in order not to be fearful of the future after breakup, you must focus on the moment, not on how it was, how it will be, how the society will think of you, because the fear starts when you start comparing what it was to what it is and what it will be. Otherwise, there is no such thing as fear. Fear only comes up, we're not talking about the fear of a truck hitting you or a wild animal to hit you, to eat you. We're not talking about the survival fears. We're talking about the fears that comes along with this sort of thinking. When you compare what it was with what it is and what it will be, that's when the fear comes up. If you're complying with this, what happens if you don't? So in order to avoid that fear, you must be with the moment, because in the moment, which is made out of lots of little moments, there's not enough big enough moment to create anything fearful or anything happen to for you to be wondering about or to be afraid of, because it's a very small moment. And every moment, if you're with it, you will see that you're with the actuality of the moment. As anything that could be happening, you're there. You can make some changes, you can make some differences. You're alive with that very moment, so there's nothing for you to be afraid of in that very moment. And everything is clear. Nothing is hidden in the past that hasn't arrived yet, so you will conjure it up and assume it and be afraid of it. And nothing is being compared to what it was yesterday. All it is about today. Remember, we said life is a river, comes from the mountain and it continues on. The one that has gone, you can't do anything about it. Don't pursue it. And the part of the water that hasn't arrived to you, well, it's your future. It hasn't arrived. You can't do anything about it. Don't try to figure it out what it is. The only part of the river that is relevant to you is what's passing in front of your feet. That is your zone. The one that is passing in front of you is the zone of the water that is relevant to you. And that's the now. That's the present moment. That's when life is happening. That is when life is flowing and it's pertaining to you. It's relevant to you. You can make changes to it because it hasn't gone yet and it has arrived. And that's staying in that moment will take away the fear of what happens after the breakup, because you're not comparing anything. You're living in the moment. And the moment is usually safe and secure because you know exactly what's happening. That's the problem. Often you drift away in the past or the future. Yes. You drift away in the past because you have knowledge of the past. And knowing how it was or how something is gives you security, psychological security. Knowledge, knowing, gives you that elusive psychological security. And therefore, because in the memory everything is known, is apparent to you, there's no ambiguity and there's knowledge there, you've already experienced, you know the outcomes of it, there's no surprises, therefore you feel comfortable. That's why you keep going into your memory, which is the past, which means you're actually living in the past, and the past is already done, is already gone, it's dead. There's nothing live in your memory. Everything in your memory is already dead. So you're being in the memory, then you call your living. But your living is in the death of the past, when you always think and go into your memory and roam around there, trying to find a solution, trying to change the things you didn't like it, which is impossible, or you try to conjure up and figure out something that will be modified from the past, come here, modified today, and then projected to tomorrow. And then that is how you live, either in the past or in the future, because never what it is now is enough for you. So you're either in there in the past or you're conjuring up something in the future. Instead, let's focus on the reality and actuality of life. Let's live with what it is real rather than the illusion of the past or possibility of non-existence of tomorrow, which that all creates that fear. Okay, Sis Oz is amazing. Thank you. Also, how do you deal with getting used to being alone, having lost what was so reassuring and important in your life after a breakup, and the uncertainty of finding that feeling again? Well, first of all, you should not be uncertain about finding that feeling of togetherness or love or relationship again. Never be afraid of that, because it is just unreasonable to think that out of 7 billion people in the world, there was only one person that you could create that atmosphere with. It's just not possible. Anything in the world you look at, anything, the tree, there's billions of that same tree available. An orange tree, there are billions of them. Peach, billions of them. Carrots, celery, cabbage. Horses, cats and dogs. Humans, fish, all kinds of things. Plants, flowers. It's not only one of it. Every kind has billions of it. And they will each, it's impossible for you not to cross paths with someone that you like. And you would be excited to get to know better and interact with and learn and explore life. And if that was your choice to be alone, well, don't think that you're alone, because you're never alone. First of all, alone comes from the word, if you look in dictionaries, alone, made out of two, all one. Alone, all one, meaning you're one with the whole. So when you think you're single, you're not single. You're part of the universe, because universal energy is what flows through you, and you come from the energy. Everything comes from the energy. Everything comes from the universe, and everything in this universe is what makes the universe. So we are all part of the whole. So we are all one, alone. That's really the roots of it. So never think that you're alone, because you never are. The energy that flows through you has come from way out ends of the universe somewhere. It's passing through you and continues on to the other ends of the universe, touching others. And from all corners, the same thing. So that energy by itself is representing the whole part of the universe that also flows through you, binds you, and helps you to realize that you're not alone. You're part of this whole collective energy, flowing energy, dynamic energy. Just like Star Wars, the key, the Force. Obi-Wan said, binds you, it flows through you, binds the whole thing. So, you're never alone. I'm always in a hurry when I start dating. I end up scaring them away. How do I slow it down? Well, you're always in a hurry because you want assurance, because you're focusing on the result. You're focusing on the destination, and you forget the love and excitement of the journey. It's like when you want to go on mountain climbing with your friends, and all you're doing rushing to get to the top. And when you get to the top, say, well, now what? There's not much here. And you, for the enjoyment of arriving to that one spot on the top, you sacrificed and forgot about the whole enjoyment, the longer version, longer distance, which was the trip to the summit. So the pleasure of everything is in that what you are The road that you're taking to your destination is not the destination. Destination is one part of the enjoyment and fulfillment and accomplishment of your tasks in life. But the whole thing is about the journey. So when you go on a date, enjoy that moment that you pick her up and you go to a beautiful restaurant or wherever it is that you plan on. Talk with her. Don't think about, okay, I'm going to say this so I can get this. I'm going to say this so she will like me. Just try to get to know her. Or if you're a lady, try to get to know the guy. See what he's all about, what she's all about. Interact and be one with that moment rather than, again, jumping up to the future where it's not even here, but you hope it will be here and you're trying to turn this moment to the future. That's why you never even get the taste of this. It's like you have a dish and lots of different kind of food in it and you're trying to get to all these things so you get to the meat, let's say, or whatever the preferred part of the food is for you. Enjoy every part of that, not just I'm going to eat this so eventually I'll have the dessert or eventually I'll have this part of it. Enjoy everything at that moment for its own pleasure and enjoyment. And then the rest of it will come at its own time. Don't push things. Don't rush life. Rushing is like excitement for death. Because if you rush and you hope for the end of the month so you can get paid from wherever you're working, that's focusing on the payment of it. But at the same time, you focus for the month to end faster, which means you focus and encourage your life to go on faster, which means you get closer to the time of departure. You don't want to do that. So don't rush life. Relax. Be in the moment. Enjoy the date and enjoy the conversation, exploring, getting to know each other. That's the beauty of the date. The date is not supposed to be, I'm going to go date so I can go to bed with her. That's not the date. That's having a plan of getting something and not really enjoying the whole process of getting to know your partner or your possible prospect for being your partner. Beautiful, sir. Life is a journey. Take it as it comes. Nothing is yours. You're only witness. Okay, good. And what is this one? Debbie said. Debbie says, I am always in a hurry when I start. Oh, Debbie, it was a lady, so you switch it around because I didn't notice who said it. I just responded to the question. Okay, sometimes you don't know you're drifting away to the past and somebody wakes you up or you wake up yourself. Yeah, and the best way to be awakened is to focus on what's happening. If you have a full attention of every moment, of everything that you're doing, that's a meditation. You're totally attending to what is happening. That is the time that the mind and body are both coordinated because your body is here and you're paying full attention to what it is you're dealing with. Therefore, your mind is here, your body is here. Total mind and body coordination, like the wheel of the car, they're moving together, they're in harmony. That's when you manifest your total power. But if you don't focus on what you're attending to, your attention would not be here fully at that moment. It would be like your body here sitting on a couch where I'm sitting, but my mind is like, somewhere in my childhood when I was, horseback riding or, whatever it was that I'm thinking of. Because mind is very agile. It doesn't matter how rigid you get your body to be, your mind is very active and agile. It can be going to the Mars and before you know it is back and before you know it is ready to go to moon. It can go anywhere. So the whole thing for your body and mind to be together is when you have full attention to what it is that you're doing, and that's where your body is, so your mind would be at the same place. And there is a chapter in my book. If you guys haven't checked my my site, it's up there, mindthatseekstruth.com, mindthatseekstruth.com. If you go to my site, you will have a chance of reading a chapter of each one of my book. It's there. It's free of charge. You can open it up and read And in one of those chapters, I've talked about mind needs a home. And the reason that we are not focused and mind and body is not coordinated because we always know where our body is, but we really don't know where our mind is. Our mind is floating around everywhere about all different subjects. And every time we want to focus, we are told to focus, focus. Why? Because our mind is all over the place. And we try to have a way to pay attention, pay attention. How do I pay attention? Well, that's a conditioning too. You got to learn how to give a place in your body about your mind. So your mind would also, like your finger, which you know what it is, your wrist is here, your elbow is here, your ears are here, eyes here, nose here. You know everything about your physical portions of the body, where they are in your body. But your mind is always all over. But when you give your mind a home in your body, which is explained in that book, in one of my books, Mind, Me, My Psyche, and I is the name of the book that I have a chapter in there, then you will know how your mind and body will always be naturally one because they're all coordinated. We're both at the same place. Please do take a moment, go to my Facebook page, Mind That Seeks Truth, author or the book. There are two of them, 2 pages. Both is mine. Mind That Seeks Truth. I put it up there on the title and author. So that would be the Facebook page, which I would put announcements and make announcements there because soon I will have these talks longer, like maybe 3-4 hours, and I will answer questions for people around the world because I have a system in my site that you can go to a page that says consult, talk to me for consultation. And in that you will pick up the package that is suitable for your budget and so on. You can have a one-on-one with me about your issues and so on, which is happening around the world. And I do that through that I connect with people and so on. But that's not always for everybody because it's a little pricey. Therefore, because I want to help as many people as I can, I'm trying to make it as affordable as possible. So soon I'll have a 3-4 hours talk answering people's questions around the world, but that will only be like maybe they can pay $2 to come in and stay in that live talk and answer questions, and that will help them out because it's affordable for everybody and they will hear the answers I give to the other people and their own questions, so that will be very affordable. And I have those announcements of those talks on the Facebook page, Mind That Seeks Truth, author. Please go and like it so I can reach you. And also check my site, www.mindthatseekstruth.com, and see the things that I've done there. A recent seminar that I had at a local university talking about fear, how to end fear, and the video of it is there for purchase, but also there's 12 minutes of it free of charge. You can see it. You get a lot out of that free part anyway. So go and check it out. And so please share this video, this live talk if you like it, and share the site on your social media and so on, so people will know around the world that there is help, and the help doesn't have to be expensive. It can be affordable. That's probably the most unselfish way that I can put my little bit of maybe the help that I can do for anybody that I enjoy doing it, and perhaps it'll be affordable for everybody. There it is. Yeah, Mind That Seeks Truth. That's the books. The other one is author. Author would be more connected to me. The book's also great because I put everything in both sites. Okay, thank you, Wouter, Wouter or what? Wouter, I don't know how to pronounce this. Is it a V or W? It's a W, but pronounced Wouter, just like it. Thank you very much. Okay, Adina, I'm back. I guess the connection is a little bit weak today. I wonder why, but I can't help it. I hope you guys heard everything I said. So please do all these things and share this so people will know. And then again, soon we'll have these talks. And all these talks are available on my site. You can go in there and you can maybe get a membership of, I don't know, $2-3 for 2 months or something like that, very nominal. So you can have access to all these 14 talks and many other videos on my YouTube channel. YouTube channel is just my name, Mehran.be. If you go on YouTube, put Mehran.be. You'll get my videos on YouTube. There's about 240 different videos that we've talked about the subject of psyche, thoughts, consciousness, fears, desires, and egos. And then we also use that principle to cover all kinds of scenarios about breakups and how to move on and how to help us to feel better after breakup. So please go on my YouTube, check that out, and share the videos that you like, and make sure that you check it all out. And then all the YouTube videos that are not going to be available on YouTube, going to be unlisted, is also going to be available on my site, which it will be included in all these talks. I don't know, a couple of dollars a month or something like that. So that's the best I can do for making it available to everybody. Now, thank you for wonderful words, wisdom. Okay, Debbie. Hello, Debbie from UK. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Now, let's see, what time is it? Have I talked enough or not enough? And let's see. Oh, it's okay. We got another 15 minutes, so I can answer a few other questions. The video just lasts a few seconds. Don't know why. Over again from South Africa. Oh, you get disconnected. Connection is weak. Well, unfortunately, it's the internet, and I can't do much about it. I hope that I could. I don't know why the connection is not good. So let me know if you guys can see it clearly. We'll try to find you live next time. It was a pleasure. Okay, thank you very much, Adina. Thank you for your time. My pleasure, dear. Any questions before we end it today, guys? I got another few minutes that I will be with you, and then I can answer maybe a couple of more questions, and then I will let you all go, and I'll go about my day. Still morning here. Orazio, my pleasure. Orazio, where you from? Orazio sounds Italian to me. Yeah, it's fine from. Oh, Caesar Oz. It's fine from. Oh, okay. It's okay here then. Okay. Okay, good. Any more question, guys? Or I think we are maybe done today. If I don't have any questions, then perhaps I will just end it in a few minutes. I don't want to shortchange you, because I know I look forward for every Sunday to be here, talk to you, share with you. Perhaps some of you do the same. How do you deal with insecurities after breakup through your journey? Well, insecurities, if you go on my YouTube channel, I have lots of videos based on how to be confident after breakup and how to move on. And that would be best, because each one of them are maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, depending on what the subject was. But there are lots of them about how to be confident after breakup. If you go to search and say confidence or confident, how to be confident, a bunch of my videos will come. Or if you just go to my channel and then go to search. Or if you say how to move on, again, if you go to my channel and say how to move on, there are lots of them that way, which I think you will enjoy that. Orazio, you're from San Diego. Okay. Was I right? Italian? Okay, now, anybody else? Any other question that I see? Let's see, maybe something I passed. Okay. Das photos and images extraordinaires. Merci. Je vous en prie, Jacqueline. I hope you enjoyed it. Another one for you. How to deal with insecurities through. Okay. Yeah, we talked about that one. And let's see any more questions. Otherwise, it's maybe time to say goodbye. Okay, I don't see any more questions, guys. Another one for you here. Let's see if I missed anything. Is there, Raduku Popa says, is there an perfect period between first knowing and get married? Oh. Well, you know, at the beginning when you get to know someone, you're excited because everything is new, and it's the element of unknown that encourages you to want to know, so that's exciting. And you want her to know you or him to know you, so you're constantly putting your best foot forward, and she or he is also putting his or her best foot forward. So everything seems to be compliance, and everybody's trying to satisfy each other and be nice and cordial, and all of that makes it also pleasant. But in fact, it's the sugar coating, because soon enough that will run away. You guys get really close and intimate and get to know each other very well, and then there would be more of a truth of how you handle life and how you interact with life and with each other, your shortcomings and so on. But you can make it exciting and interesting as long as you always live in the moment. Don't see each other, don't perceive each other with the eye of the past. Don't see each other according to your experiences with somebody else in the past. Don't bring that and with that angle, with that eyes, look at this one and interpret what she is or what he is. Try to see it as what it is in actuality, not perceive it based on your past experiences, because then you will never have a chance to get to know this person, because you're always judging them or perceiving them based on your past experience of somebody else, some other thing, and you think this is the same, and therefore you will never get a chance to know this person thoroughly. There's also another section in my videos that it will talk about this sort of a discussion and points. So really you can make every moment of it as good or as challenging or as pleasant as you want it to be. When I try to find out more about a guy, they run. Well, that means that's not the right one. If they're running, that means they're not in there to let you know everything about themselves and to present themselves fully, disclose fully, so you will make the choice if you want to be with that person or not. So would you do the same for them? And in exchange of information, and to be as truthful as possibly relevant, then you will be able to make a decision if you guys want to stay together, be together, continue it or not. And that is the only way that a relationship can really take off and on a good footing, good setting. Usually they say the good ones, the right one, don't run. If they're running, that means they were there for just a momentary pleasure or to just see what they can get, but they're not ready for a relationship maybe, or the kind of relationship that you're interested in. Because each one of us, when we try to get into a relationship, each one has a different vision of the relationship. You got to see if your intention for that relationship is the same as the intention of the other persons for that relationship. If your reasons to want to be in a relationship is not similar, then you have different goals in that relationship, then that relationship is doomed to begin with. So one of the things you got to do is not just getting to know each other's personality, also try to get to know where in life, where stage of life each one of you are, and what is the intention, what is your goal for being in a relationship or getting this relationship happening. And if the goals are compatible, then there's a better chance to make this thing work. Okay guys, I think I have spoken enough, and I hope that you guys have had a enjoyable time with me this week as well, and I look forward to see you next week, and hope that you will have a wonderful week and be good to yourself and to the others. Talk to you soon. Love you all and have a wonderful week.